to deep right. It is going to be a fair ball. Right down the line. It curled right inside the pole. Another home run for Mr. Gregorius. Yes, indeedy. Didi Gregorius make Yankee fans euphorious. A 2-run blast to right, and the Yankees have a 5-1 lead.
I don't know if I expect it, but I know I feel good when he walks to the plate, and I know I feel good when he walks to the plate with runners on base. He just continues to do things that really help us win the game, impacting on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, look, I mean, he does all of that. And he is a leader. Whether it's Judge or whomever, this guy has that look of being a leader on the team. However that dynamic develops, and I know they feel strongly that Judge might be that too. I love this guy. And I understand that I'm the one that's saying, if you have a chance to get Machado, you get Machado. The guy's off to a ridiculous start. And you looked at his numbers the last few years, and you look at how clutch he's been, and you understand why you want to keep him around. But you had a chance at a superstar player, and that was my thinking behind it. I'm softening on it a bit. I am definitely softening on it a bit.
When you have a guy who's leading Major League Baseball in RBIs, got 8 home runs, listen, we could all just say, and pull the, I never said that, but we did say it, and there was reason to, but...
I didn't.
You didn't, but
when
he's off to a start like this, it's going to turn your head. It's going to turn, and not just us, it's going to turn Brian Cashman's head, and that's the most important person. And so, listen, Didi he's saying all the right things about... He's not a free agent until after 2019, and he's just taking it day by day. He understands that Machado's a free agent, but I think Machado's also playing a little hardball here, that he is trying to use this playing shortstop maybe as a little bit of leverage to maybe even try to get a little more money. Like, he's going to have to be making this massive sacrifice by moving from short to third, so pay me.
2:25 afternoon drive. Let's hit the phones at 877-337-6666. We will start with Tim in Milford, Connecticut. Tim, what's up?
Yeah, how you doing? Two questions regarding the same thing about Mad Dog yesterday talking. Number one, he just absolutely killed Bart, so I want to know what his comments on that were. But then also regarding the
what were the comments?
Message,
I didn't hear them.
And then regarding the text message you sent to Mike, I guess he's going to have hard feelings over it. So is it going to be awkward if you guys cross paths or anything like that, or what?
Well, I said it's going to be awkward, and Dog talking about a private message that frankly I sent to both of them in a moment of anger, but I'm from Jersey. What do you expect?
To say Carlin says it to everyone. That's what he says when he walks in the morning. Hey, Maggie, how you doing?
It's my greeting to Bart. Listen, and by the way,
you're Andrew Dice Clay.
And I'll leave it at this, okay? With Chris wanted to interject himself into this whole thing to get some attention, and that's fine. That's what his deal is.
He's been doing that.
He's a tree in the forest right now, and he's falling, trying to blow and make noise, and nobody's hearing him. Nobody's listening.
What Chris leaves out is I called him first, and he didn't pick up. That's all you need to know. Anyway.
Yeah.
As far as your comments,
I don't even know what his comments were.
it was a more of the same. What did he say about him with that?
Clueless on baseball, not prepared for the job, basically stuff along those lines. More of what he said last time, but he even expanded on it more this time. So
not prepared for the job. I prepare for the job. I'm not a baseball person. I'm figuring it out. I've been paying attention to baseball pretty much since November. Yep. But guess what? You had a 29-year head start, and I'm catching up. And trust me, it's not rocket science what we're talking about here. We're talking about feats of athleticism, sport, hand-eye coordination. I think I can catch up pretty good. But, you talk about, this job is about baseball, but it's about a lot more than that. It's about other sports as well. And I'll put my football acumen, my basketball acumen, my boxing knowledge against anything that he can think about. He couldn't hold a candle to that. So at that point, I bring a different type of expertise and value that he could never think about. And what happens when people get old and they start seeing the end coming. They start to try and find excuses or try and find reasons why they're not relevant anymore. Your time is past. My time is now. And listen, I'm already retired, and I'm in your sandbox now, and I'm pushing you off. you'll be a non-factor in probably the next 2 years.
I'll say this too. We gave him the opportunity to come on and say it to your face, and Dog wouldn't get near Bart. It's the same things that happened with the guys in Boston who were saying whatever they were about us, and then the moment we walked into the Super Bowl on Radio Row and they saw Bart, all of a sudden zipped it.
Zero.
This is no one will say it to Bart's face. So you can say whatever you want. We're not hearing about you, and honestly, at the end of the day, you are talking about us. This is the first time we're talking about you. You have been talking about us this whole time. So if you need us to be relevant, or if you need us to try to get your name in the paper, that's all you need to know. Congrats to you.
And for me personally, having the relationship with them as I have over the years, and Dog, who I for a long time considered a friend, even worked over there a little bit, it's disappointing on a lot of levels because he, first of all, somehow thought that knocking my partners was not knocking me. Well, that's wrong. I'm sorry. We're a team. And secondly, as Maggie said, come on over. Bart will have a few laughs with you.
We tried to make it fun.
And at the Super Bowl, wouldn't do it. And then that same day went on the radio show in Boston and tore us apart again, and said it's not good. Chris is Chris is the guy that to your face, just mellow out. We're having a few laughs. I'll just ask this question: would anybody out there take exception if someone was on national television joking about you potentially losing your job? Would you take exception to that? I mean, ask yourself that question. So, yeah, I took exception to it. And I chose to try to convey to both of them my feelings at the time, privately, and Chris opted to make it public. And, okay.
Because he needs to.
And
nobody's listening.
And Chris wouldn't speak about it. As far as Mike and I are concerned, Mike's here. It's great for the station, and I'm sure we'll talk at some point. So, we've had so many arguments over the years from when I was working for them that I'm not remotely worried about that. That, we'll get things as ironed out as they need to be working forward. Because as much as we can point to everything that we have the last couple of days, we're not going to lie. It's awkward. But, hey, it is what it is.
Life.
And we are so ridiculously lucky to be here in the first place. And Maggie's right. I even hate the fact that we're talking about Chris because we're giving him the publicity.
Exactly what he wants. Yeah.
But we're not going to duck it.
I know. That's the thing. We can't duck it. And,
I tried to talk to Chris like a direct individual, and he chose not to do that. In fact, when I asked him to come on the show at the Super Bowl, I said it to him directly. Oh, we'll see. I'll see about it. And then had somebody get back to me to say he's not coming on the show. Chris and I, who have been friendly for 15 years, this is what he is. He jokes with you to your face, and then he decides, I'll just say whatever I'm going to say, and when you're not looking, I'll fire away, and then I'll cut and run. And that's what he is.
That's why I almost got choked out at the Super Bowl.
It's true. David Deal. He can dish it out, but he can't take it. That's definitely true. And he is a phony because he came to Sports Illustrated. I interviewed him, and he was like, oh, Maggie, she's great. He goes on high heat. She's so great. She's this, she's that. And then as soon as we get the job, he starts ripping me and ripping you guys. Yeah. Please.
It is a phony. It is a complete
So for all the huge Dog fans out there, just know the real person, not the host, the real person is a total fraud.
Yeah.
So
that's what it is.
Come right out of a comic book, punk.
Guys, we don't want to spend a lot more time on it. I think that we have pretty much said what there is to say about it. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there'll be another response because, we're looking for more 10 newspaper articles out of it. But whatever.
It's absurd.
Honestly, for us, I think this is probably it because we just want to go and do the show. And the draft is tomorrow night.
We're going to be at Hooters.
We're going to be at Hooters.
Come hang with us.
I'll be slinging pickles.
Wings. Absolutely. And then we got a baseball season to talk about, and a great one at that. So that's what we'll stick to. I'll take one more call.